We'll start with the big one, which is I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, which is on its 15th.
I want to say 17th.
Oh, really?
They
did
one.
2 in 1 year, but then there was.
1 year.
Oh, it doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't matter. It's been
No.
on a while.
It's been on a while, yeah. So it's the series of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Generally considered one of the weaker lineups this year. The big characters, I suppose, early on are Amir Khan, the boxer, who sort of came in and said,
thick as pudding. Thick as
But
pudding.
he's been hit about.
yeah,
he gets
his
hit
job
about
is
the
to
head
be
for a
hit in the
living.
head. But the fact he doesn't even know the show is just like, hello, Amir, here's a truck of money. Please go to the Australian jungle.
Please
Okay.
pop to the jungle.
You haven't seen last night's, Gary, but his first trial, he basically did the I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Which I don't remember anybody doing
No,
for years.
For years. I think the last, what's her name from off of Coronation Street was the last one I remember doing it on a regular basis. Helen Flanagan?
Yeah.
She was the last one who did it sort of on a regular basis, wasn't it? But I can't remember anyone sort of mid-trial doing it. He's probably seen it all before and just wants to act them and go, no, I haven't seen it. Oh, I'm not expecting these critters. I'm not...
Yeah.
But maybe...
It was funny when he
some-
pulled the snake out rather than the key, though.
There were some tweets, weren't there, about his history of with the program. He's previously said he'd never go on it and stuff like that. So
He doesn't know what it is.
exactly, yeah.
The one who they seem to be focusing on a lot is the girl from Made in Chelsea. She seems to be the one.
Toffolo.
Yeah, Toff from Made in Chelsea.
I did kind of quite like the bit where she first entering the campsite. I felt like campsite Barbie. I was just thinking, was there a campsite Barbie?
I was just thinking, I felt like that before. That's what you thought, didn't you?
No, yeah. Just bought that Space Above and Beyond DVD.
Have you really? Have you really bought it? He's
really
just
have,
bought the DVD. Brilliant.
Carry on.
Live DVD buy. I feel like we're on
I'll
now.
I'll do a review on a podcast later.
No, you won't. You won't watch it. Generally, I mean, I think the opening tasks seem to be very similar to last year. So, like,
Except
they're
focusing on a new thing, which is meal tickets, and I don't understand them.
Well, I was going to ask this
Stars.
question because I've not cards on the table. I'm not a fan of I'm a Celebrity normally.
I think I can exxplain it to you, Luke. If you
Just
want
do it
to.
quickly. I'm not that bothered. But
So for example, in the first instance before going into camp, they could have 5 meal tickets was the maximum. They got 4 because Stanley Johnson didn't do something with coloured tiles or something.
Yeah.
So they get.
He didn't count up the number of tiles correctly and told Shappy to release the wrong flare.
Anyway, that's not important right now. They got 4 meal tickets. They then assigned those meal tickets to the 4 younger female members, so all the female members of the camp apart from Shappy. So basically, you get a meal ticket, and every task now is to win everyone with a meal ticket a meal. So before, when it was stars, you got a number of stars, and then they would share out that amount of food, wouldn't they?
But that's what I'm saying.
That
now that they've nominated those 4 girls as having meal tickets, they can't change it.
No. And I think each task you do get a meal ticket as well, because if Amir and What's-Her-Face had won the trial yesterday, they would not have only got the meals for the people with meal tickets, but they would have got another meal ticket.
Okay.
It is overcomplicated, but I think the point behind it is that it creates tension between the people who've got these meal tickets and are constantly eating.
I was going to say, and they've done
the
the male-female divide without really knowing it, haven't they? I don't know whether they've totally understood it.
Of course, if you're casting a reality show, it's the one thing that you can't control, really, how all these people are going to behave in a group.
Yeah.
And so far, with very early days, I might regret saying this by the time we record next week if we discuss it again. It's not that this group is too nice, because we've had nice groups
last
year.
Last
year's was nice.
Overly nice.
I just think they're dull. I just think they're
a
just
little
genuinely dull.
They're just like normal people, really.
Well,
most of them,
I
aren't
think the more we get into the reality era, you're getting more people who are familiar with the way in which the show works, apart from Amir Khan, and you've not got so many people that we don't know something about already. It's lost its shine a little bit.
If it were hosted by anybody else than those two, I wouldn't watch it.
And we called it, didn't we, the gag at the
Well, I
start.
have to say, I
They
listened
did
back to
2
last
gags.
I listened back to last week's podcast. Luke called it completely right when he said, "Where have you been all summer?" That was the gag they used.
They had to reference it, and as soon as they did, I just felt so much more relaxed about the whole thing.
You said you didn't think they should have to.
Well, no, I think it's sad that they have to.
I think, from what I remember, you said that I think you said they shouldn't have to, but you know that they will, and then it will move on, and then it will be forgotten. We now focus on the celebrities rather than Ant and Dec now.
Well, no, Ant and Dec are the stars.
But it seems like the recurring gag they've got going this time is that Dec's having a go at Dennis Wise for being small.
I love that. He's a tiny man. I love those gags.
And the Ant is going, you're not exactly a giant yourself.
Yeah,
you know,
and he's looking at the camera. That's their. They always do a recurring gag, don't they? It was a couple of years ago they did old Tony Hadley on Celebrity MasterChef that turned
Yeah. See, I like to watch all those clips on YouTube, actually, every now and again. They are brilliant, and I know people knock them, but they're brilliant, and this is
Who
a great
knocks them?
form.
Who knocks
them?
A
lot of people. You know,
I think people knock
we've got
the
a thing
show
in this country. We've got this thing where people get popular and people start going, oh, they're not great, and I don't watch.
They've won too many awards, I think, but I think even they admit that.
So
they kind of go like, oh, you know, stop voting for us, you know, and I think that's the only thing I would say.
Of the originals that went into the camp on day one, Gary, who do you like? Is there any feelings you've got on any of them, or?
No, I don't think so. my vested interest is that the two new people that have been announced that will be joining the camp, one is the former Labour leader in Scotland, and one is a friend of mine, Ian Lee. Who used to be on the 11 o'clock show. The background is that I still do, ring Ian Lee's radio show. I'm a kind of regular caller. And I've seen him in a number of comedy shows, and I've, helped him out in doing various podcasts and bits over the years. So it's going to be interesting to see him in that setting. He's always said he would never do I'm a Celebrity.
How will you feel if he doesn't come across well and people turn?
Well, I think he's going to play a game. He's quite an astute, clever bloke. He's going to play a character, I would say, rather than be himself. Yeah, I don't know.
Doctor Who?
I don't know. I don't know how he's going to get on, because I think he could go either way. He can be very confrontational.
I think he'll be a bit like Matthew Wright was a few years ago. That's what I'm...
I think he'll be more... I mean, the interesting part, and I only picked this up in your conversations last year, was that some of the better characters last year were Danny Baker and the bloke that came in with him that's on...
Homes Under the Hammer.
Homes Under the Hammer, yeah.
He was an irritating character, not an...
I stopped watching after Danny Baker got eliminated first, because I was like, what's the point? People don't know what they're talking about.
I think Ian is personally quite funny, but I know that some people won't necessarily find that. But I think he's quite quick-witted and funny. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on with everybody there. At this early stage, there's no front runner.
Do you want to pick a winner now? Now we know all 12? I'm going to go Jenny McAlpine, because that was my initial thought.
Yeah, I suppose we'll have the Corrie vote. So there's the Corrie viewers that will vote for us. A good point.
I quite like her.
Yeah.
The northern vote here. Yeah. And Luke?
Can I do her as well? Can I nominate her as well?
Yeah. Okay.
Also, I love the fact that ITV will be very pleased, because they were talking last night about how they were recognised, and Jenny McAlpine obviously talking about Corrie, and Amir Khan said...
She's been in it for 17 years.
Yeah. Amir Khan said to her, "Oh, we used to watch that every day. It's on 7:30 on Channel 3. And I thought, oh, ITV will be really pleased with that.
Yeah.
He has actually got a bit of Arrested Development, I think, Amir Khan, because he's been being knocked in the head since he was 17. He won an Olympic medal, he said, didn't he, when he was 17?
Yeah, there is a little bit of...
They must give those out.
He was just talking about going into his corner shop, wasn't he, and not knowing how to do his own signature and things like that. And
I'd be surprised if he knows how to spell his own name, to be quite frank, at this stage.
I would just say as well, one more thing, and you mentioned this on Twitter, Luke, is that I don't need the episodes to be like 95.
Well, I can understand Sunday, the launch show being.
But then it was them just hanging on a plank for about half an hour.
I know.
Yeah.